Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, Small Island Engineer. I'm your Small Island Engineer. The name is Nate. About my channel, well, basically it's all about ICT, the world of information communication technology. I'm gonna talk about things like technologies within the industry and stuff like business solutions, and I'll try and demo different things like VMware, Cisco, whatever. All of the stuff that's available in the industry that I can get my hands on, and we can discuss how beneficial and not beneficial and stuff like that for this technology within the industry, right? Let me give you a little bit of information about myself. So I've actually been in the industry of ICT for like 14 years. I moved from customer care level to technician level to engineer to manager to HOD. You know, through all of that, I still love my job. Yeah, started from the bottom, now we're here. Yeah. I know that was corny, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have video series, basically like different video series depicting different topics and so on. So for this one, in delivering an ICT project, which is like the basic thing in ICT that you're gonna be doing, delivering projects, right? So the first thing that I wanna talk about in that series, which is this first video, is project management. And project management is basically like one of the core things in delivering any kind of project, right? So I want to get into that a little bit, talk about it, and try and drop as much as I possibly can in the video and give you some information on what basic project management is and how you can best do this to deliver an ICT project, right? So with that said, let's get to it. All right, so project management. First things first, why is project management even important? A couple of reasons. One of them is that really project management is the core success variable to delivering any kind of project, right? A badly managed project will likely fail, and if it fails, then you're probably gonna look like an idiot. And it's not just you who's gonna look like an idiot. Like the company that you represent is also gonna look like they have people working there who are idiots and they don't know what they're doing. So it's very important that you actually have good project management, and as such, project management becomes like one of the core things to delivering a project. Another thing is that, you know, a lot of projects will fail because of poor project management, and that can end up costing not just the customer, but it can also end up costing the company that's delivering this solution for this customer. You know, project management is actually a complex thing, which is why there are courses out there on project management itself. There's certifications that people go after that are really sought after, that are really rewarding once you get the cert, and they're highly viewed internationally, right? So it is a big thing, project management. It's really not simple. Hats off to project managers because they really have a lot to do. All right, so next thing, what really is project management? Sounds simple enough, in managing a project, right? And that's basically what it is. You're managing the resources that you need to complete any kind of project. That's what project management is, right? There's usually a starting of the project and then an ending of the project, and then during the project you have your goals that you set, that you're trying to reach, you know, objectives that you're trying to accomplish so as to be able to deliver that project. Projects will range from simple to complex, because you can do something as simple as you're going to build a porch outside, or a veranda if you're in the Caribbean, because you don't know, Caribbean people will say veranda. It can be something as simple as building a porch, or it can be something as complicated as building out a network infrastructure for a campus, college campus. That's a big thing. So you have different levels of projects that you'll deliver, but what you're doing with project management is ensuring that you're managing your resources to deliver these projects, and then you're trying to deliver the projects within the limitations, time, if it's budgetary, if it's whatever, you're trying to deliver your project within that scope of limitations. That's basically what project management is. So next thing we need to talk about is what do you need to know in order to actually successfully manage a project? And I think this is probably where a lot of people get hung up. Now, as a project manager, you don't necessarily need to know how to do everything that's involved in a project. So for example, say you are gonna build out that college campus network, right? You as a project manager don't necessarily need to know how do I configure a router or a switch to build out this network. But what you really would need to know is like what's involved in configuring that router and a switch. What are the costs involved? What needs to be done before and after the deployment? How to manage the people that are going to be responsible for deploying or delivering this project. Stuff like that. That's stuff that you're going to need to know. You're not going to necessarily need to know how to do the thing, but you need to know these things in order to plan the project. All right, so let's talk about tools that can help you to actually do a decent job at managing a project. Now, there are a ton of them out there. A lot of them are commercial tools that you can purchase. There's one called Jira or Jira. There's Trello. Trello I have used before. Microsoft Projects, Bitrix. Like those are some of the main ones that are available, right? A few of them will offer you a trial period, like you can use it free for 30 days, or some of them will offer you a different kind of trial, like they'll say, use all of the functionality indefinitely or for whatever time, but you can only use it up to 2 users or 3 users or whatever. Or limited functionality up to 2 or 3 users and whatever, and then you have to purchase a subscription. They have different ways that they do these things. Microsoft Word and Excel, trust me, don't sleep on Word and Excel. They'll get the job done, believe me. A lot of projects have been delivered under Microsoft Word and Excel. All right, so now we get to one of the most important parts of project management, and this is your project management checklist. Now, there are a few items that are really critical whenever you're developing your checklist. And your checklist can be very simple and it can be highly convoluted, whatever you want. There can be a lot of stuff in there. But for a basic checklist that will help you to get the job done efficiently, I'm going to discuss like some of the more important items on that type of checklist. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. So first thing on your checklist, set your goals and objectives. Now, this is super important. If you don't have anything working towards, then, what's the point? There's no point. You're going to mess up everything and it's just going to really be bad for you. So first thing, set your goals and objectives. What are you trying to do? What's the problem that you're trying to solve? Asking those questions helps you to define the project variables and determines how best you solve the problem that you're trying to fix, right? Pretty simple. Set your goals and objectives. First thing. Next thing, meet with the stakeholders. Now, the stakeholders can be a number of different people, but these are generally the people with vested interest in the project. So it can be your clients, your vendors, your managers, your IT guys, etc. These are your stakeholders. These are the people you want to meet with to get whatever information you need to get going on a project. All right. So third, gather your specifications and your requirements. Super important, right? You really need to know what it is that you are trying to get done here. And you need to know what is required from the customer so you can get it done as best as possible. So get all the necessary info that's going to help you complete the project. Your high-level diagrams, your low-level diagrams, your special requests, your non-special requests, your preferences, etc. Get all of that stuff. Phone numbers, all of that stuff. Get that so that you can go ahead with what you're doing. Email addresses too. I said phone numbers. I wanted to make it sound like you're trying to, get something else out of it. So not just phone numbers, emails, other methods of contact. Several things. Yeah. All right. So where are we now? That was 3. So 4th, make a project plan. This is the central part of project management. Making a project plan. For real. So different aspects of the project will have different needs. Different things will be required. So you want to map out the specific steps in order to complete these different sections. And then you create your project plan around that map to get all of this stuff complete, right? Create that project plan. All right. So another important part of this is actually depending on who you are within this project. Like, what stage of the project are you planning it for? Like, sometimes companies will have different person fill different roles. Like, the salesperson will work on the budget, and sometimes the salesperson is the project manager, or sometimes the project manager takes the whole role in terms of budgeting of stuff, how stuff is going to cost, how much stuff is going to cost, and whatsoever. I guess it depends on how your company does it, but it doesn't hurt to actually have an understanding of all of this stuff, right? So, as you can tell, budget is the next thing that I'm going to say is very important. When you're creating your project plan, from the project manager or the salesperson perspective, you're going to need to make sure that you create an accurate budget presenting to the customer, because you don't want to present a price to the customer that the customer says, oh yeah, this budget I can work with. And then they commit to that. And then afterwards, they're hearing, oh no, we forgot to add this, or this could have been better, or this is going to increase the price, or some crap. That's not going to end up good for you or for the customer. So you want to make sure that you create a budget, and this budget is in line as best as possible with what needs to be done. Be as liberal as possible when you're creating a budget. Let the customer say, look, if it's not necessary, if it's an add-on or something, we might have to take it out because we can't afford it, or whatsoever the case may be. But you should be the one to guide the customer to say, look, this is necessary, so on and so forth. But let them make that decision. Be as liberal as possible. Include everything that is needed to get the project done as best as possible. All right. So we've gone through what? 5 things? 5. Next one in line is really organize and allocate your resources. The people, the infrastructure, vendors, etc. Like, get a handle on everyone who needs to be a part of the project, and assign them their roles and responsibilities, establish all of that with them so they know exactly what it is that they're responsible for, and so that there is no gap in terms of who needs to do what, or where what needs to be accomplished, or whatsoever, or what needs to be used. Just make sure that you organize and allocate all of the resources that are going to be necessary in this project. Next thing is create a schedule and a timeline, right? This is pretty self-explanatory, because you really need to have a point by which you need to have the project delivered. And then you need to have goals within that, or timelines for certain things to be delivered within the overall project timeline. So you need to create a schedule. You need to create a timeline. You need to work with the persons that are responsible for different tasks to get an accurate time as to when things can be delivered, so that your timeline is not skewed, or very off. Like that, you're always going to be off at that point if that happens. And then you're never going to be able to deliver to the customer within the timeline that you have prescribed. And then that can create a whole bunch of problems. So create your scheduling timeline. Work with your task owners to make sure that you have an accurate understanding of how much time it's going to take to deliver on whatever tasks are involved. And the final thing that you want to do is to definitely track the progress that you're making. Have regular updates with your team. Actually, no, I missed one thing. Very important. Set your communication plan. Like, that's, what is that? Number 8, set your communication plan. Yeah, definitely. You need to set a communication plan. So, set regular schedules, meetings with your team for people to give updates on where they are. And not only with your team, but also do whatever it is that you need. Set your timelines to update the customer, the client, as to where you are in the project. If you've missed a timeline, if you've missed a deliverable, whatsoever, that kind of stuff, updates can be passed on to the customer, and you set new dates and stuff like that. So but you have to be communicating with your team to do that. So set regular scheduled communication updates. Then after that, no, it's where you track in. Well, in the middle, not really after that. But the last step is that you track your progress. And you're going to be doing that all along the stages of the project. So it's not really like it's not the last thing that you get to. All of this stuff is stuff that you're going to be doing at some point, either at the beginning or while the project is ongoing, because you're going to communicate while the project is ongoing. You're going to track the progress while the project is ongoing. So track your progress. That's basically the last thing on my list of things that would need to be on your project management checklist. Like, I remember 9 things, but they're basic, rudimentary stuff that you need on your project management list. Yeah. And that's it. Project management in a nutshell. Now, there is a lot more to project management. There's a lot of work that gets done as a project manager. But these are some of the most basic items that will help you if you have to take on some kind of project management role at some point in time. Like, just these basic things will get you your footing, and you can go through and create and add to the list that I gave you and so on. But those are basically the basic stuff that you want to consider when you are preparing to execute any kind of project, right? And that's project management in a nutshell. As I said, hope you enjoyed the content. Hope you guys had a good time with my first video. If you like the content, please feel free to hit that like button. Feel free to hit that subscribe button as well for more content. I will be pushing out more content in the future. It was great to do this first video. It's great to have you guys here. Leave me a comment in the comment section if there's anything that you want me to discuss or anything that you want to look over or get a second opinion on, and I'll try and respond to you as quickly as I possibly can. Or if there's any videos that you want to see me do on anything, leave me a comment in the comment section, right? So until next time, guys, peace.